When new immigrants come to our country, the experience can be both challenging and rewarding. Although most people in the community will welcome and embrace people from different ethnic, religious, and cultural backgrounds, some people are bogged down by misconceptions, stereotypes, and fear.
Extremely difficult to find a job.
Understanding and appreciation between cultures comes about when people are able to get to know each other through interaction and conversation. Breaking the Ice is a series of videos that gives us a more personal look at people who come from other places in the world to either visit or live in the United States. We had the opportunity to visit with May, who talked about her love for her country and the similarities and differences between Egypt and the United States.
In Egypt, unlike what many people think, we are so up-to-date. We're so open to the different cultures. We're kind of mingling into the global world, as many people and many countries are. We do not commute with camels. We have cars, we have cell phones, we have internet, we have all the different tools that people all over the world use. So this was a surprise to many non-Egyptians when they talked to me and asked me, how do you communicate? Oh wow, you have an iPhone, you have an iPad, all these sort of things. We have them in Egypt, and we're not living in a really closed society. We're very open. You'll be surprised to find even cab drivers having the cell phones. We don't move without cell phones. Your maid has a cell phone to call her when she comes over and all of that. First of all, of course, you have to go to the old Cairo areas. You have to check out, of course, the pyramids, the flat markets, all of these places. They will make you sense the real Egyptian culture and the real Egyptian people. You get to deal with Egyptians who are very familiar with tourists, who know how to deal with them, who know a little bit of other English languages, French maybe. So these areas I would strongly recommend for foreigners to visit when they come to Egypt. In Egypt, we have very strong family ties. We hang on together for a very long period compared to other cultures. So, for example, I come from a family, I have one older brother. We used to live together in one house. Even when I went to college and I started working, I'm still living with my parents. My brother was still living with us until he got married and moved to his new house. Usually a girl stays longer until she gets married and moves on with her husband, or gets a job abroad, or gets a scholarship, or gets accepted in a university or something. But usually we stick around together for a longer period. On a larger scale, just more than your direct immediate family, when we travel, for example, in the summer to the beach or something, we move together. I remember when I was a kid, we used to go to the beach, those like small houses or small places where you can rent cabins and all of that. We used to go like in 50, 60 people together to spend the summer together. This is pretty normal. So in Egypt, we're pretty much in bond. We don't separate easily. It's hard for a girl to leave the house. It's hard for a guy to leave his family until he starts off another family. We're there supporting each other, backing up each other. We really value family, and we value that we stay together. We maybe achieve independence in a different way than other cultures do. I can achieve my independence outside my home, but still I have very strong ties with my immediate family. In Egypt, if let's say we have a group of guests, males and females, so usually the ladies kiss each other. Kiss on one cheek and another kiss on the other cheek. And men do the same. It's not usual. Sometimes it's there, but it's not usual for the girl to kiss the guy and the guy to kiss the girl. It's a little bit different. Here I know that men do not kiss, for example. But in Egypt, when men meet, they can kiss and hug and, hey bro, what's up, all of that. But of course in the Egyptian kind of terminologies. So yeah, it's different in Egypt. We have this kind of physical intimacy different than the Western cultures. I think it's just a matter of more system here. Maybe the way people drive, the way people cross the street is different. The way people, everything has rules and regulations that we follow. Everything, maybe some cultural difference, very small cultural differences, but Egyptians easily adapt to new things. we are very open to explore and to see new experiences and get along and adapt. A slice of pizza here is like one size pizza in Egypt. Yeah, the junk food is all over the place. We have junk food in Egypt, but we don't eat it as much as we do here. We cherish, as I told you, we cherish family gatherings. We like to dine together, to lunch together. Usually the family comes back after work, eat together. Sometimes some working hours would make a difference and we would not all meet at the same time, but usually there is time for the family to gather and eat together, even if it's just the weekend. Our weekends are Fridays and Saturdays, not Saturdays and Sundays. So on a Friday, it's the day where families gather, we see our in-laws, we see our friends, it's a day where we meet and eat, technically. So, but the food here is different, it's quite different. Egyptians like to mingle with their neighbors. Our neighbors have value. We usually, if I live in a building, usually we know each other. We know who's living on what floor. We meet sometimes. If there's a feast or something, we bring each other cookies. We bring a cake. We bring, we have Egyptian cookies in the feast that are baked in this occasion. So, for example, just like Christmas cookies, for example, we have the same thing. We can get those as gifts in holidays and all of that. So that's normal that you get to know. Just you would make sure that, for example, if you're a male and you're visiting another friend of yours, you should make sure that you're maintaining distance, that you're not over intruding, that his wife is at appropriate time to meet you and to open her house to you. These are just little things. But usually Egyptians are very open to people, and they're very generous. You cannot go to an Egyptian house and not be offered a meal or a drink. The least is a drink, but you could be offered a huge meal, and we like to host people. When you're invited in Egypt to the house, you usually get maybe a cake or some kind of dessert or something. I wouldn't recommend with all Egyptians, you cannot always bring alcohol, for example. Some people accept it, but some others do not drink. So you need to make sure and get to know the person that you're visiting before deciding to get alcohol, for example. But usually a small dessert or something would be a very nice gift, something for the house, a little gift for the house. That would be very nice.